I walked into dating like I do a consult, I'd be very successful in the dating field because I come in with zero expectations. I don't
and ask a ton of questions, right? And that's what women love anyways, right? Like, so 100%. They go hand in hand.
Swear.
How are you approaching dating, Tyler? What expectations do you have?
Exactly. I need to come in and be like, look, this is our dating consult.
You walk into it looking to close the sale in like the first 5 minutes. She's like, I just fucking got here. Welcome to Memoirs of a Fitness Trainer podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Tullis, joined by the lovely, intrepid Aaron Saltzman and the fantastic and jovial Tyler Johnson with his very much not a Moana stone around his neck. We've established that at great length. How are you boys doing?
Hey, things are great, man. Get to be here with you guys and the one and only Moana. So I'm enjoying my Saturday night, man. Glad to be with you guys.
Love that.
I hate you guys. It symbolizes a connection to the ocean. Represents strength.
Isn't that exactly what the movie is about?
That's
Isn't it literally about Moana being connected to the ocean? So my point exactly.
Did you have the
What is our topic for today?
We're talking
Let's
about
dive in,
personal
boys.
trainer sales. Let's go.
The
Are we? Cool.
best
I
of
thought
the
we were talking
best.
about Moana.
I mean, we could multitask. I could relate some things back to Moana just for you.
Yeah?
Hey, we are doing sales right now. We're trying to sell your necklace.
Tyler's trying to sell his necklace.
Swear to God.
No, but
We're talking about
this
sales,
is
guys.
this is honestly one of my favorite topics because in order to have a successful spot in the fitness industry, you have to be good at sales or at least know how to work around sales. So I think that this is going to be a hot topic and can help a lot of you guys.
Awesome. Tyler, how do you feel about sales? They pretty cool?
I honestly, when it comes to sales, I create a business plan. Everything when it comes to my mindset on sales, when I have a client in front of me, it's not I'm trying to sell them something. I have a provided value.
Exactly.
And I'm trying to fulfill what they need. So I take the idea of sales out of my head when I'm in the moment. But yes, sales has to be a background. You have to have a knowledge base of what selling is to be able to do this in our industry.
Yeah, I think that's the big miss in a lot. It's like when it comes to sales, if you provide a good value, then you can put your cost at that value, right? You don't have to bring in all these sale tactics in order to sell something, especially in the personal training world. Like if you're good at what you do and you have testimonies and you have people who have gone through your program and have seen success, then that already alone, just speaking about that, allows you to put a high value ticket on what you're trying to bring to the table. I think that anybody that is trying to bring, whether it be fear or tie strings to people's emotions in a sense, they don't have a value to sell. So they're trying to trick these people essentially into making a sale.
Dude, 100%. It's the big issue I have with a lot of these sales kind of schools or, personal training business to get you to your 10K tomorrow. All they dive into is just sales tactics. How do you overcome objections? When why not just get a value offer that's so great that, of course I'm going to spend that money with you. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah, I have a perfect example for this one. I mean, whenever I was at Chico State, just graduated, got my degree. I got a a training job at this tiny little gym, hole in the wall. And their sales tactic was to over abuse somebody in the assessment/consultation, make them feel completely out of shape and feel like complete shit, right? And then bring them into the room and say, hey, you're out of shape. You couldn't get through a basic workout. You need to buy personal training, right? So it's that fear-mongering that is overutilized in this world of sales right now that really needs to, if you're a professional, especially in our industry, there's no need for any of that.
Dude, I used to work with a guy, every person that came through, your knees are out of joint, you're going to blow that knee out. You need training. I mean, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to blow your knee out in like 3 months, dude. I promise you. I can fix that, though. And it'd be like every person would come through would have the same left knee issue. Like, it's going to blow out immediately. I can see it. It's like, God, man. You don't need to trick people into shit.
Right. Not if you have a good product, you don't.
No.
Right?
Then you see the testimonies of all the people that didn't train with him of blowing out knees, and you're like, dude,
This guy saved my life. I didn't blow a knee out ever.
Yeah, that's classic.
I mean, who knows? Maybe he really was just like the super expert and just had it on pat.
Yeah.
But
No.
how do trainers get better at sales, though? I mean, like, I get that creating a value offering is great, but think about the guy in the first 6 months. They're in a gym. They don't know their hand from their feet at this point as far as sales, training. How do people get better? I mean, is it just repetitions? I mean, what do you guys do to get better?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's a lot of it is repetitions. A lot of it is learning from those around you. So it's obviously, like we mentioned a lot in the old podcast, that's why it's nice to start out at a facility where you have other coaches around you who have been doing it longer than you, because you nitpick off of those things. And also repetitions just allows you to slowly start to learn what works and what doesn't for you. You start to learn your voice. You start to learn maybe that you're not confident in selling, right? Because if you don't bring confidence to the table when it comes to sales, they're going to feel that. And if you're not confident about your product, why are they going to spend extreme high value on something that you don't even believe could help them? So I do think repetition is kind of the name of the game, and then just overall learning as you go.
Love that.
I think huge is the psychology that you need to go into each one of the consults or the first time that you're meeting somebody. Is that you want to make sure that you're not going in with this I need a client type of mentality.
Yeah, been there.
They smell
yeah.
desperation.
Absolutely.
You can want a client, but you don't need this client. Like I break tension. I just netted top sales in this facility. I sent you guys the number.
First month, right?
Yeah, 22,000.
Unreal.
22,680 to be exact.
Unreal.
But yeah,
And 92 cents. I got you.
92 cents.
Speaking of that, I have a plane ticket for you coming out to Orange County to come work for me, so I'm going to need that 22K over here, man.
Here's something I do, and I want to know if you guys actually agree with me or not. But I break tension immediately when I sit down in the console. Is within the first 2 minutes, I look at them and I say, hey, I want to know your expectations of what you're thinking that today is. And they'll explain to me, like, oh, the front desk told me that this is a time with a trainer. I don't really know what they would expect.
Mm-hmm.
And I lay out the expectations of what we're going to go through. Like, hey, we're going to get a little history, going to get to know each other, going to put you on this evolve. It's going to be a body readout. We can go on the floor and get questions. But overall, I want to make sure that you're comfortable in this gym and that we can get you set up correctly. What I don't want you to have in your mindset is I'm trying to sell you training. If we end up wanting to work together, if that becomes of interest, stop me at any point.
Yep.
We could bring out the numbers and figures. I'm not going to push anything on you today. Just know that there is personal training available, but today is your hour with me, and I want to make sure that you are perfectly set up at this gym.
Yeah, I love that tactic because it honestly tears down the wall that they are already set up as soon as they sit down with you. Oh, this guy's going to try and sell me something, right? It already kills that and allows for normal interaction, normal conversation, right? Because I honestly personally haven't worked in a gym like that in a while, so anybody that I'm trying to sell is not a current member at my facility. So for him, like I was like that at Lifetime too. Like if all they really wanted was for you to take them out to the floor and show them how to utilize machines, well then I'm going to definitely incorporate that and give them what they want. And now there's a relationship built. Right? They trust you, and they should because you're authentic.
Yeah.
Love that.
No, I'm making sure to completely break down that wall, address the white elephant in the room.
Correct.
They know they're meeting with a trainer. They already have some preset expectations of that. Trainers cost a lot of money, and that people work with trainers because they have extra income, and they have all these things and these barriers that are already kind of built up. Mm-hmm. My first thing is just to take down those walls and just say, look, today I'm just here to help you in however you see fit. And if training becomes an interest for you, we can talk about it then.
And I love it because, answer this question. What is the most intimidating place for people in probably the world, dude? It's the gym, right? Like so many people are already intimidated going to the gym. The last thing they want is to feel more intimidated and more fearful that somebody super good in shape is going to tell them, that this is what they absolutely need and that they have to purchase this, right? So I think breaking down those walls and helping somebody feel comfortable is number one. And then actually listening to these people, right? Listening to what they are there for, what goals that they actually have in mind. And just not just stuffing down fake tactics down their throat.
No, I mean, I myself feel uncomfortable when I walk into like a new gym. Like, I don't know their rules. I don't really know like what their style is. I don't know the population. Like my MMA studio, when I walked in there for the first time, like I'm like, dude, I don't know MMA. Like these guys must be like all like some tight niche. And then I start kind of getting the boundaries, but I'm so fresh and new and uncomfortable. It's nerve wracking. And for anybody who's walking into a gym for the first time, or maybe coming back and trying to lose weight or whatever their situation is, like they're nervous, and so we got to be like relaxed, cool, calm, collective, and not pushy.
Because just because we feel comfortable there, we're the exception, right? In that sense, like we're the 1% of people that maybe actually do feel comfortable in this space. And so there's so much of almost like a script form of marketing in the industry where people can see right through it.
I think, in my opinion, the big issue people face with personal training, we try to sell sales because we have the outcome that we want, training. We want to sell because, well, I like having nice things and I like to keep the lights on. It makes sense, right? But that person's not there to buy, not to purchase. So if you're meeting them with that intent of I'm going to sell, well, now you have two people walking into a conversation together that want two separate things.
Yeah.
But if you guys both walk into it with, all right, this person wants help, that's why they're there, or it was convenient for them, in which case they're still there for help, and then why not you meet it with, well, I'm here to help, and in any way, you want me to write you a program? Sure, I only got like 30 minutes to write one for you, but, well, why don't I do that?
No, man, that's,
If I walked into dating like I do a consult, I'd be very successful in the dating field. Because I come in with zero expectations. I don't
and ask a ton of questions, right? And that's what women love, anyways, right? Like, so 100%, they go hand in hand.
Swear,
how are you approaching dating, Tyler? What expectations do you have?
Exactly. I need to come in and be like, look, this is our dating consult.
You walk into it looking to close the sale in like the first 5 minutes. She's like, I just fucking got here.
Honestly,
God,
though,
that'd be good content if personal trainers walked into a date like they do consult.
Yeah, that would actually be a really good podcast.
That's
that would be a great episode. Yeah, but honestly,
hilarious.
Ryan said it.
Don't mind the camera crew.
Ryan said it perfectly, honestly. I think that they're walking into this place for education, and if you're walking into it for a sale instead of being an educator, then you're speaking different languages, right? And so you're both going to end up veering in different directions. And as soon as you bring up a sale or a cost or something like that, they're going to run. So
they're
I think
taken aback by it too. Like they're like, wait, this is a sales consult? I just came here because my back hurts, and the lady downstairs said, oh, I know the guy upstairs. He can help you. He's going to be so taken off back.
What I like to do is I always make recommendations and give education and be the professional that we are, right? Because we'd be doing them a disservice if we didn't. And then if I truly believe that it's going to bring value to them to work with our facility or myself or whatever, then I'll definitely always bring up whatever it is I think is best for them. But the absolute pushiness to it, or making them feel sorry for themselves or bad about themselves, or like my other gym, making them feel insecure about them being, out of shape, like to me, that's just that just should be dead and gone at this point.
No, the only time during a sales comes into the mix when it comes to a fitness consult or an hour meeting with somebody, and the first time I meet them, that I actually start pitching the sales, is when they show interest. Is if they're like, so how much is it to train with you? That's a cue word. That's when I can kind of switch gears where I'm like, okay, cool. Well, this is our prices. What we've talked about today, this would be my recommendation. And I try to get as much information before that point. Then there's the people who come in like, hey, I want a trainer. That's my gold ticket. That's my bread and butter. I would love that on every single fitness
wrap it up.
consult.
It's an early day. But, I mean, how often are those happening? I mean, really?
Let me get on my computer. What's your schedule? Next Tuesday at 5.
Here's some paperwork. You start filling this out. I need to figure out who you are, right?
Yeah, it's basically to sign the dotted line. That's it. Yeah.
Or it's the phone call you pick up at the front desk, like, hey, I'd like to buy personal training. Who do I talk to? I'm a personal trainer. I'm like, what are you doing tomorrow?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So, I mean, what? God damn it.
All right. Well, Tyler figures his life out. So, Aaron, now that we're on this, solo, very intimate conversation that we're having with you and El Gato, How do you set the sell up? Because it kind of sounds like we're all approaching it from the same angle of provide just over-the-top value and to almost try to get the person to ask for the sell. That was always
Exactly
my strategy, but do you guys have a how do you set that up? Like, what's the structure?
No, bro,
like?
you hit it dead on. Like, if you take somebody through a correct, what they call onboarding session or consultation, it's going to flow so smoothly into the sale that you won't even have to ask for the sale at that point, right? So whenever I take somebody into the gym, I put them through an in-body analytics scan. We go over their analytics. We go over their numbers. Then we talk strategy of goals. What is it they're looking to accomplish? And there's the man, the man of the hour. What are they looking to accomplish, and how are we going to get them there? And at the end of the conversation, the sale has already written itself. It's like, okay, then this is what we have to do in order to design this program. And it's almost like an unwritten thing where it's like we're already stepping into getting them comfortable at my gym, right? They've already worked with me. They already feel safe with me. They already feel heard from me. So with all those things completed, if they are there's no reason for them to turn down the sale. And if they do, with whatever reasons they come up with, then we try to find reasons around that, right? So for instance, if they're like, oh, I can't really afford it. Okay, well, let's talk strategy with cost, right? So what is it that we can work with that maybe we can make it affordable? And we could try all different avenues. We can try talking to them about where their cost is already at, or the most important thing is hidden fees, right? Like, so if you talk to somebody about fees, okay, yes, it is going to be a prime dollar out of your pocket. It's going to be an investment right now, but how much is the investment whenever down the road you have to start paying for medical bills because, your blood pressure's through the roof, or because of the obesity, whatever it may have been, right? So there's always something to combat what they have to do, but in a very healthy and kind way. So a lot of the excuses are what? Money.
Yep.
Time.
Money, time, right? their partner, there's X, Y, and Z,
Correct.
right? Everyone has those little objections that they get into.
And so, so my goal is to always combat those objections with very healthy and kind ways to get them to understand that this investment is worth it.
Absolutely.
The biggest one that I get all the time is, do you think this makes sense right now? Because I'm supposed to be leaving in like 2 weeks.
I get that
I'm
a
going to be
lot.
going on this trip.
So
Ryan and I talked about this before.
No sense to me.
But
I
that,
don't get it.
that happens all the time. But yeah, why not get the ball rolling now? So whenever you get back, you already have some traction, right? So let's go ahead and start rolling the ball now. So that way, whenever you get back, we're just jumping right back into it. Because guess what? When you get back from that trip, well, there's going to be more things on your plate than now, right? You're going to be less energy when you get back from that trip. You're going to have less than you do right now to make this investment.
Well, how nice would it be to spend 2 weeks where there's no stress of outcome chasing fitness? Like, hey, we're not really trying to lose weight right now. We're not going to.
Yes.
You got 2 weeks. We're not going to make much progress, but all right, let's learn to do your food over the next 2 weeks. We don't care about the outcome. We don't care if we're gaining, losing, what have you. It's just let's master the food or the work.
Well, yeah, I think it's about setting structure, right? Yeah. So it's like, let's build the foundation. So when you get back, the structure's already built. All you got to do is just follow suit at this point. Like, there's no more having to build at this point.
I think that's one of those like coaches things. Like, we know how important structure is. They just look at it as the work. I got to put the effort out there to get the goal. We're like, no, effort. That's easy sauce. Structure and consistency. That's the stuff we actually need. So I think it's just we have to do a better job of getting that value proposition, getting that expectation truly in there to overcome stuff like that. But TJ, I know you've got a point. You've been screaming Zoltan over there for me for a minute here. What do you got?
No, I'm a very patient person. Just like, hearing dogs barking in the background.
Get out of here. Hell no. I stood in line with you. You get the hell out of here. You are not patient at all.
That's different. I really don't like waiting for things, and I don't like rebuying things. I've said this since I was
like
what 12 years old.
Is?
Yeah. Anyway,
you don't like waiting for things, but I'm a patient person.
I'm the most patient person
waiting.
Sometimes.
And I don't like rebuying things. All right, but there's two things that I attach to when somebody's kind of giving me like do you think it's the right time? I got this trip. Is I get kind of like an emotional attachment to them. Because nobody knows themselves better than themselves, right? So I say, okay, well, what stopped you from doing this a month ago? And you'll usually kind of get like a story, oh, well, a month ago I was kind of going through this. Be like, okay, so that emotional state that you were in before, do you think that's likely to come back again? I don't think so. So the hesitancy on that, I don't think so, is kind of like where I kind of attach onto, like, look, like when you have the drive, like now's the best time to start. Just like you said a month ago, you didn't have it. That could be true 2 or 3 weeks from now.
Absolutely.
Because we don't know where you're going to be, but I know where you are right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, plus when it comes to me, and then this is where I go into the second part of it, and I talk about when it comes to our implementing or your training principles or how your guidelines are going to do, the first couple weeks are going to be learning how to warm up, mobilizing, working with your body, things that you can do on the road that are just going to be body weight or whatever type of techniques that you need to use, so that way you can stop having XY issues as you proceed. And when you're coming to the gym the next couple of weeks before you go, you're going to want to know this stuff.
Yeah, I think it's really important that during this consultation or session, you get them to understand why they have not seen the success in the past, right? So you showcase that, one, you're going to bring them the results that they're looking for, and maybe why they haven't received them yet, right? What struggles have we done? What struggles physically? What struggles mentally? If they've worked with a coach in the past, have they seen results? If not, okay, let's break down what you were doing with that coach. And so I think going into their past history, because the thing is they always, most of the people that are coming in are just gonna, oh, I've tried this before. Oh, I've done this before. I haven't had success. I went on this diet, right? So it's really understanding what they have done already and now breaking it down to what can we do differently and how can I get you there by taking this different approach.
I feel like that's just continuing on the value add trend, right? Like you do a proper discovery, figure out someone's history, and it's like, all right, what diets have you done? Well, all right, I know I'm going to need to overcome those objections throughout my value proposition.
Correct.
I've worked with this coach before, and it just didn't work out. All right, I need to figure out why it didn't work out, because I need to overcome this objection in my value offering before we even get to the end of this session.
So, okay, I have I'm going to shoot fire question really quick to you guys that I just got the other day, and then I'll tell you how I combated it. But sitting down with somebody, took them through an assessment, did the whole work, did the analytics, start talking pricing. And she's like, oh, I really love this. I really want to do it. Unfortunately, it's a little costly for me, let alone we're $100 per session, right? And so I said, oh, I completely understand that. What kind of budget are we looking at, and how much can you truly invest into this? And she said, well, about 4 years ago, I was training at LA Fitness, and I was paying $30 a session. And I said, okay, $30 a session. I was like, they had to be 30-minute sessions, right? And she had 45-minute sessions. Okay. And then I was like, okay, so with that in mind, what is your budget right now? And she said, I think I could do, $50 to $55 a session max. Pause. I'm going to let you guys take the reins on this, and then I'll tell you what I said. But I'd love to hear how you guys would come at this one.
TJ, you want me to take it? You want you? What are we doing?
Hey, man, let's hear from you first. You take it, big dog. Take a big swig and then bring it out.
My tea was
That was
end.
straight bourbon, by the way.
I'm a gym man. Thank you very much. Something like that.
So let's hear it.
It depends upon what offerings I have. If I'm thinking I'm in a gym, I probably have small group training or group fitness as an offering, right?
Okay, so with this in particular person, absolutely no chance a group fitness would work. Very, very, very needs a lot of hands-on work. Like extreme. Like very beginner.
I'm going to give a bad answer to this because this was never my forte on overcoming price for low-ticket items like that. Like when someone were to take my price point and cut it in half, I'm kind of moving on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try to provide as much value as I can and make sure that she gets from where she is to where she wants to go, all that good jazz. But I'm just going to walk her through and go brass tacks with it. Like, all right, so you can afford $55 a session, and you want to do twice a week. So that's 8 sessions, $55. We're going to be looking at $440 for the month. Cool. All right, so that's our budget, right? $440. Well,
Exactly.
you can't do 1 hour training with me one-on-one. It's not within that price point. I would love to work with you on that, and depending upon what you offer, maybe negotiate and build a value offering. Like, all right, you spend 6 months, and we can do it that right, or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
But for something like that, I would just get the total amount that you could spend in a month and then break it down to what value offering I could give. That might be one session once a week for an hour with you. And then, all right, for the $40, I'll do your homework and programming for you. That's one we normally charge X for, but because I want to work with you, I'll break that down for you and give you the homework and all of that for that $40, and then you get to train with me one time a week. That'd be
I think that's exactly it. It's about finding their budget, truly, like they just expressed it right there, and then taking that budget and building out the program that you will be comfortable with selling them at that cost.
You're willing to do. Yeah.
For me, it came down to a couple things. So it came down to.
I was gonna say, you want to let TJ give his?
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I want to see how you close this thing, but I want to see if we even came close to what you did.
Yeah.
I was like, we might have missed by a fucking mile. You're actually wrong. I got her to do $4,000 a month. Like, get the fuck out.
Yeah. So this person is brand new to fitness. How old are they?
She's 45.
45.
Kids, works like 12-hour days. Like I mentioned, I mean, she's very, very out of shape to a point where it's very health concerning.
Okay. Why did she come to you in the first place?
She wanted to get stronger, wanted to lose weight, kind of like the normal routine in her head. But then whenever I put her through this assessment, I learned that it's a lot more than that. I mean, she needs
How did she hear about you?
to move. Found my website just on Google.
Okay. What did she find out about other websites?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know why she came to or picked probably location, my guess.
Yeah, location, like ease. Maybe there's like close to her house, or there's somewhere that you're going.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she was paying. You said $30.
$30 at fitness 5 years ago, pre-COVID, and then it was only a 45-minute session.
45-minute session. Still, that's close to an hour. And then you were able to talk her up to 55, or was that just Ryan spewing out maybe a bunch of
make up a number? Was it not 55?
Yeah. No. So I sold her at 80 a session. I ended up getting us 2. But again, her mindset going into it was like, hey, 50, maybe 55 is my budget.
This is what I would do, because if you were taking this on as a client, if this was you personally, Aaron, this is you making the business decision for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm in Aaron's position, I would say to her, look, I can't speak to LA Fitness. I don't know the trainer that you had. Maybe you had an amazing trainer, but the cost of living has definitely increased for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And the trainers that I have on staff are some of the best, well-rounded, trustworthy people who are going to be a killer trainer and are going to give you the results you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And simply, I can't pay them their salary at that budget. What I can tell you is my lowest item that I can go to is $80 an hour, or I probably would have said 100. If it was 100, I would have dropped it down. Like, I can knock off 10% of that and give you a discount, and I could bring it down to 90. But at that point, I'd be losing money, and I wouldn't be able to pay these amazing trainers the salary that they deserve.
Yeah, I love it.
And if that wasn't going to fit, and she's like, oh, I could do that. What do you feel about once a week? Be like, okay, once a week isn't going to cut it. If you're able to make the sacrifice now, if we can do this for 2 months minimum where you can do twice a week, we can bring it down to once a week. But we're going to need to see you twice a week, because what happens if you cancel 1 week and I don't see you for 2 weeks, it's just not going to work. And I don't want to sell you on anything that's not going to work.
Yep, and that's exactly where I went with it. First question I asked when she told me I was paying $30 a session, first I asked, how long was the session? 45 minutes. Okay, then I asked, did you get the results that you were looking for? And her answer was, well, no, not really. I'm glad I was going and moving, but I didn't really lose weight, or I didn't really feel like I got far. Okay. So, and then I told her, I think that the best thing for you is to be with a trainer who's very educated and helping people who are very new to fitness and helping you getting over the barriers that are necessary in order to see the results. But then I said, look, because I truly believe that sales happens when it's least needed. Right? Mm-hmm. So kind of like what you said, if I don't feel like I absolutely have to sell this person, right? They feel like, okay, he's not even batting an eye, right? So what I did is I said, look, we just went over head to toe of what your program would look like: nutrition, fitness, analytics, where we could get you by when, all that stuff, right? And I said, I'm gonna give you this information, and I want to make sure that you get healthy, right? Whatever that looks like, whether that's training here or training at another facility that's gonna fit into your budget, it's my job to get you to a place of health, right? And so I said, I'm going to give you all this information, and I want you to truly take this to any facility or any trainer that you want and utilize these strong points on getting you to that success. And for me, that was that was it. All of a sudden she was like, well, no, I really think that this place is great, and I think that you guys can get me to the result. And so then I said, okay, look, this is what I can do. I can take off 20% for the first 2 months. After those 2 months, it will go back up to the $100 per session. But if you jump to 3 times a week, I will keep it at 80 per session forever, right? And that's what happened. So
Nice.
that's where the sale went through.
It's kind of why I brought up the idea of like when I was talking, like, did she go to other facilities first? Because I'd want to know like what type of training she was looking for. Of course, she said that she requires one-on-one. She needs the attention. But it'd be like, hey, if you're looking at just getting up and moving, it could be worth just joining a gym and just getting into classes if you want to just take some yoga and stuff. Like, if that's just a way you want to just start moving.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing though with her was accountability, right? She's like, I can't do it. She's like, I literally can't even go for a walk. Like, I can't do it on my own.
Yep. So she needed that accountability. You definitely did the right thing. It's you got it to a point where it's like, hey, we're at the standstill. You know this is the game plan. I've given you exactly what's going to be the tools of success. Now it's going to have to be put back on you. Like, I'm willing to help you out in whatever way possible. You even went to the extra mile, which that is beyond. That's where you get elite level training. Is somebody who's like, look, I'm even going to write you out an outline to take to other gyms if you don't choose us.
You give free value, right? And what comes with free value, people start to trust you, right? It's give, then ask, right? There should be 7, like, I think it's like 6 or 7 gives before you actually ask, right? Versus just people in sales, all they do is ask, and that's it.
Well, it's that value proposition, right? It's when people receive value, you naturally want to reciprocate it back. It's why when someone does something nice to you, you say thank you and like have a good day. It's you want to give that value back out. So if someone's doing all this extra work for you, it's part of why you don't want discovery or onboarding or initial consults, whatever we're calling them, to be these hyper sales sessions. Because, well, at the end of it, they're like, fuck that guy. I know I need training, but I can't stand this guy.
Bro, that's how it went when I bought my car. Like, when I bought my Camaro, like, I went to a car salesman, and I literally was ready to buy this car, and I said, look, I'm going to a different lot. I'm buying the exact car. I'm not buying it from you.
Good man.
Dude was a sleazebag. You know what I mean? So for people selling things in this personal training world, just stay away from being that car salesman type of person because it won't get you far.
I got a question for you guys here. So we all more or less answered from a same place around kind of problem-solving Aaron's sales thing. But we all kind of came at it differently. Like, Tyler was a lot more digging, a lot more upfront with it, and hard set to keep his point there. Kind of overcoming those objections, and felt like he was spending more effort, more time going through each objection. Like, that's kind of the vibe I got from Tyler there.
Yeah, what I do is I try to get like a very deep dive history. Like, I want to know everything that's going on in their brain, so that way I can be present in their shoes. If I don't know like what else is going on or other facilities or how far this gym is or why you chose us, if I don't know those, I can't answer that question.
Versus Aaron was very quick to start making deals. Was like, let's just get this done, let's make an adjustment, let's make it fit to get the sale and get moving forward, which obviously that leads to helping the person, so that's what matters. And then on my side, dude, I was just, let's just make a deal and get it done. Let's cycle through the next person. I gotta work to the next person, the next call, the next lead that I have coming my way. I'll get this person helped. And like, that was my entire mindset was, dude, I got 20 clients I got to cycle through here. I need to get this person helped.
And I see you very much so. Alex Hermosi, one of his lines of sales, he's like, when somebody asks me, could you do it cheaper? He says, I could do it more expensive. Like, and that's kind of how it should be, right? Like, you stick to your guns on what you truly believe your value is, right? So to me, I was like, oh my God, like, that's great. And it's true. I mean, it could be more. I could charge 100 session, right? So
like right now my one-on-ones, if you buy like a large enough bundle, it brings it down to like 145. But if it's just one session, it's 160 or
you see what I'm saying? Yep.
But when somebody asks me, like, when they like kind of react to it, and they'll be like, oh, that's expensive, I look at them bold face, and to me it's like that I don't have a number value. I mean, to me, I'm worth $300 an hour.
Yeah, dude, man. Somebody once said, a client that's like super great with business, and she said, I will never say something is too expensive, I will say I can't afford it, right? And that's the difference. It's like your value is $160 a session, period. It's not too expensive. It's that person believes or is in a place where they cannot afford you, right? So I love that mindset.
I can understand if you literally in your budget cannot afford me. That's totally okay. No, nothing against that. Mm-hmm. But if you're not going to work with me, then let's figure out how we're going to get you successful, because we only have 20 minutes left on the clock, other than when I see you in the gym. So let's take training aside. Let's build a plan for you. Mm-hmm. I can't write you a workout. I can't give you a full script. Mm-hmm. You can download on ChatGPT if you really want to go on and say what type of workouts you want to do.
The thing is, people don't need
answers.
They don't need workouts, right? They need guidance. They need accountability. They need somebody that's going to make them show up. And obviously, correction on form and technique is everything. But yeah, they're not coming to us for the best workouts in the world, right? Like, there's nothing sexy about our workouts, especially when Ryan's sitting there doing his double glute bridge kickbacks and posting it on Instagram, right? Like, nothing sexy about that.
What was that say underneath? What was that say underneath my name down there? There, Aaron. Ryan, tell us the exciting fitness coach. Get fucked. It's boring.
Correct.
My shit works. That's all that matters.
That's what I'm saying, dude. The boring and unsexy stuff is what it's all about.
The boring, sexy stuff.
Ryan, as soon as Ryan came out with the boring fitness coach, I've literally used that principle with like talking points with people. Like, I'm gonna be doing the same workouts like all the time. Oh yeah, no, fitness is really boring.
Bro, it's so true. So off topic, but my class literally like get mad at me if the workouts are like repeated. I'm like, guys, this is what programming is. Like, if they do the same leg exercise back-to-back weeks, they're like mad at me for it. And I'm like, they think I didn't plan well or something. And I'm like, guys, this is coaching. Like, I can't stand it.
This is what high-level coaching looks like. But
yeah,
we're gonna go into the overload principle and talk about the fit principle, and then we're gonna really dive into it. This whole class. You know what? Fuck it. We're scrubbing the workout. We're doing whiteboard.
What's the first month of Aaron's program look like? Just a classroom setting for a month. He's just drilling people. Shit. Okay. So let's wrap a bow on it here because we are approaching our time limit here. So I'm gonna put it on you guys here. I normally give my best recap of it, but who wants to give a nice little bow on this thing?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that sales in general, guys, this is always going to be something in your field when you're in the fitness world. You're always going to need to continue to work on your craft, continue to value yourself, and continue to give a presentation that people are going to trust and not run from. Stop fear-mongering people or putting in fear into their already fearful mind when it comes to the gym, and start giving people what they need. And I can promise you, if you bring that kind of value, they will follow suit and they will purchase from you, and you'll have no problem holding and keeping down a full schedule.
Love that, guys. This has been Memoirs of Fitness Trainer podcast. We appreciate having you guys here. And if you haven't already, give us that like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the almighty YouTube algorithm. And we'll catch you guys here in the next one.